Amid the glittering chaos of a New York City afternoon in the heart of Times Square, where the neon billboards flashed endlessly and the streets teemed with tourists snapping selfies under the watchful eye of towering skyscrapers, Meghan Markle arrived at the ABC studios for what was anticipated as a triumphant return to daytime television on The View, her presence a blend of royal elegance and Hollywood savvy that had captivated audiences since her transition from actress to duchess and now to entrepreneur, with her American Riviera Orchard brand flourishing in jams, wines, and lifestyle essentials. At 43, Meghan, with her glossy dark hair cascading in soft waves and her figure accentuated by a chic emerald green dress symbolizing growth and renewal, stepped out of her chauffeured SUV flanked by discreet security, her mind focused on promoting her new Netflix series about women's empowerment and her Archwell Foundation's initiatives on mental health, causes forged from her own battles with media scrutiny, racial bias, and the rigid confines of royal life that had led to the explosive revelations in her 2023 memoir and the 2022 docuseries with Harry. The hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, greeted her with varying degrees of warmth on the vibrant set, the audience of 300 cheering as the theme music swelled, Meghan settling into her seat with a poised smile, ready to discuss her journey from Suits star to global advocate, sharing lighthearted stories about baking with Archie and Lilibet, drawing laughs when she joked about Harry's polo mishaps turning into family folklore. Whoopi opened with praise for Meghan's resilience, but the conversation veered sharply when Joy Behar, with her trademark sarcasm honed from decades of comedy, probed into the Sussexes' ongoing rift with the royal family, referencing leaked excerpts from Meghan's upcoming book that allegedly critiqued palace protocols as outdated relics. Meghan responded diplomatically, emphasizing healing over hatred, but Sunny Hostin interjected with a pointed question about privilege, asking how Meghan reconciled her Montecito mansion life with championing everyday women's struggles, her tone laced with skepticism that echoed broader criticisms of performative activism. The audience murmured as Meghan's expression hardened, her voice steady yet edged. "I've lived the intersection of race, royalty, and rejection, dismissing that as privilege ignores the pain." The fiery clash ignited when Alyssa Farah Griffin brought up Meghan's silence on recent political issues, suggesting it was a calculated move to avoid alienating conservative fans, prompting Meghan to counter sharply, "My advocacy isn't partisan, it's human. But this feels like an ambush to twist my words for clicks." Joy quipped back about Meghan's Duchess drama, overshadowing real news, and as tensions boiled, Meghan stood abruptly, microphone in hand. "If respect isn't on the table, neither am I. I've faced worse than this echo chamber." Gasps filled the studio as producers signaled security, who approached to escort her off amid a flurry of whispers and wide-eyed stares from the crew. Meghan's exit graceful yet defiant, leaving the hosts in awkward silence as the show cut to commercial, Whoopi fumbling a transition with, "Well, that was unexpected." Backstage, Meghan's entourage rallied with calls to Harry and her publicist, phones lighting up with alerts as clips leaked from audience devices hit social media, #Meghan Clash trending instantly with millions debating the host's aggression versus Meghan's sensitivity. The incident, a perfect storm of daytime TV's thirst for controversy and Meghan's unyielding boundaries, exposed the fragility of celebrity interviews in a polarized era, turning a promo spot into a national talking point that boosted her brand's visibility overnight. News outlets from TMZ to the New York Times dissected the exchange, with supporters praising Meghan's stand against bullying and detractors labeling it a diva meltdown, while ABC issued a vague statement on lively discussions. Meghan, en route to her hotel in a waiting car, reflected on the irony, promoting empowerment only to face disempowerment live on air, her resolve strengthening as fan messages poured in, turning personal sting into collective solidarity. The narrative spiraled further with flashbacks to her royal wedding glow fading into Megxit shadows, her suit's confidence clashing with palace protocols, subplots emerging like a young producer on set inspired by her poise to leak behind-the-scenes tension, the host's private regrets amid advertiser pullouts, and Meghan's strategic pivot to friendlier platforms like the Kelly Clarkson Show for unfiltered chats. Through it all, the core theme endured. In the arena of public life, authenticity often invites attack, but resilience turns trials into triumphs, Meghan emerging not diminished but amplified, her kickoff a launchpad for deeper dialogues on race, royalty, and the right to reply. As evening fell over the city, Meghan penned notes for her next project, the clash fueling a chapter on media manipulation, ensuring her voice echoed louder than the panel's barbs. The reverberations from Meghan Markle's dramatic departure from The View echoed through the corridors of media power the following day, with New York's tabloid presses running hot and social media ablaze as hashtags like #MeghanV's View amassed over 50 million impressions overnight. Clips of her poised exit dissected frame by frame on TikTok and Instagram Reels, turning the incident into a cultural Rorschach test where viewers saw either a victim of ambush journalism or a hypersensitive celebrity unable to handle tough questions. Back in her suite overlooking Central Park, Meghan navigated the storm with calculated calm, Harry on a transatlantic call providing unwavering support while their children remained shielded in Montecito's serenity, her team orchestrating a response that included a poignant Instagram story quoting Maya Angelou on Rising Above, which garnered 10 million likes and sparked a wave of solidarity posts from allies like Serena Williams and Priyanka Chopra decrying the host's tactics as veiled misogyny. ABC executives huddled in emergency meetings, advertisers from beauty brands to streaming services pausing campaigns amid the backlash, Whoopi's on-air reflection the next episode attempting to downplay it as heated passion among strong women, but viewer comments flooded with demands for an apology, ratings dipping temporarily before rebounding on the controversy's tailwinds. Legal whispers emerged as Meghan's attorneys, battle-tested from her victories against British tabloids, explored a defamation suit alleging the clash was premeditated to exploit her vulnerabilities, court documents later revealing producer emails pushing for spicy royal tea to boost summer slumps. The public discourse fractured along familiar lines. Feminist commentators on CNN hailed Meghan's boundary setting as a masterclass in self-advocacy, conservative pundits on Fox lampooned it as entitled fragility, while neutral outlets like Variety analyzed the broader implications for celebrity guests in an era of unscripted volatility. Subplots deepened the drama. Joy Behar's off-the-cuff radio interview defending the probe as fair game ignited further fury, prompting a Sussex fan boycott. Sunny Hostin's social media clarification softened her stance, hinting at internal panel rifts, and a leaked audio from the Green Room captured Whoopi's frustration with the escalation. The video script captured this aftermath in dynamic montages, news tickers scrolling accusations, Meghan's yoga session symbolizing inner strength contrasted with the host's flustered prep huddles, voiceovers delving into themes of intersectional feminism as a battlefield where progress meets pushback. Meghan's arc showed evolution, channeling the energy into an emergency Archwell webinar on media literacy that drew 2 million participants, her private journal entries reflecting on parallels to Diana's hounded existence. The hosts, too, evolved through introspection, Sarah Haynes reaching out via DM for a potential off-air dialogue, Alyssa Farah Griffin penning an op-ed on the perils of performative questioning. As weeks unfolded, the lawsuit settled confidentially for an 8-figure sum donated to women's rights organizations, but the real victory was cultural. Meghan's Netflix series premiered to record viewership, framing the clash as a pivotal episode on resilience, while The View implemented guest guidelines for balanced discourse. Extended dialogues from legal proceedings highlighted Meghan's eloquent takedowns of bias, family moments in California where Harry role-played supportive scenarios for the kids, and celebrity interventions like Oprah's mediated call attempting truce. Backlash waves included sponsor shifts countered by Meghan's empowerment merch drops, and viral challenges where fans reenacted the exit with empowering anthems. In this second paragraph, the narrative built escalating consequences, global petitions, think pieces in The Atlantic debating daytime TV's role in cultural wars, and Meghan's pivot to authoring a guide on navigating public scrutiny, all underscoring that from fiery clashes bloom fortified futures, the Duchess not defeated but defined anew in the court of public opinion. Months after the infamous View clash that had thrust Meghan Markle back into the unforgiving spotlight of global scrutiny, the narrative had shifted from sensational scandal to a story of profound redemption and reform, with the Duchess's American Riviera orchard expanding into a billion-dollar empire through partnerships with eco-friendly brands, her children's book series topping bestseller lists and inspiring school curricula on empathy, while Archwell's initiatives on digital safety influenced international policy at the UN Women's Forum where Meghan delivered a keynote on reclaiming narratives in a clickbait world. The confidential settlement not only funded scholarships for underrepresented women in media but also prompted ABC to launch Empowered Exchanges, a series vetting controversial topics with sensitivity training, ratings soaring as Whoopi and Meghan reunited for a special episode on forgiveness, their candid conversation turning past tension into teaching moments, the hosts admitting over each while Meghan shared how the incident fortified her advocacy. Meghan, ever the strategist at 44, balanced motherhood with mogul status, Montecito brunches with Harry discussing future documentaries, Lilibet's first steps captured in Private Joy away from lenses, her second memoir, Unsilenced, chronicling the clash as a crucible for growth, debuting to critical acclaim and outselling Spare in its first week. Fans who once polarized now united under #MeghanEmpowers, her Emmy win for the Netflix series dedicating the trophy to every woman who's been questioned but not quieted. Subplots resolved with poignant closure, the young viewer from the audience collaborating on Meghan's next book as co-author, Joy Behar retiring with a nod to the Duchess in her farewell speech, and Sarah Haynes co-hosting an Archwell event on allyship. The video script culminated in a triumphant montage, award ceremonies, family portraits in blooming orchards, reflective interviews weaving themes of resilience as the ultimate crown, voiceovers narrating how one kick-off sparked a movement toward mindful media. Whoopi's evolution shown in a solo documentary on hosting ethics, fostering bridges across divides. As the year closed, Meghan's influence extended to congressional testimonies on privacy laws, the View's format inspiring rivals like The Talk to adopt similar reforms. Extended epilogues glimpsed futures. Meghan's foray into politics as a UN ambassador, the host's joint book on Clash to Clarity, and a cultural shift where fiery exchanges yielded to fruitful dialogues. The story, from explosive exit to enduring legacy, fulfilled the title's drama while championing unity, leaving viewers uplifted by a Duchess who turned dismissal into dominion in a world craving authentic voices.